But first, breaking tonight, lawyers say they're planning to file a lawsuit against the owner of a Central Florida amusement park after a teen was killed there, falling from an Orlando thrill ride, the tallest of its kind in the world. Right now, state investigators are still trying to find out how that teen fell out of his seat. Good evening to you. I'm Eric Von Anken. Glad you're with us tonight. This is the first time legal action has been mentioned since the awful accident Thursday night. It happened just after 11 p.m. at the Orlando Free Fall at Icon Park. A 14-year-old fell from his seat as the ride dropped down, and he died. The sheriff's office has identified that young man as Tyree Sampson from Missouri. Now, the high-profile attorneys for the teen's family say that they will sue the owner of Icon Park.
Well, the way that a lawsuit works is we will file a lawsuit against the owner of the park, and there's a group that owns Icon Amusement Park, Icon Park, and after that lawsuit is filed, we will be allowed to do what's called discovery.
Friends and family of the 8th grader describe him as humble and gentle with a bright future ahead of him. We're told Sampson was visiting Orlando with another family while on spring break, riding the free fall attraction Thursday night with his best friend. Just in the past few hours, it was News 6's Carolina Cardona who spoke with the lawyer for that boy's family. Carolina, what else did he say?
Eric, Bob Hilliard, one of the attorneys representing the family, tells us that they are looking at the videos of that night from the fall as part of their investigation. He also tells us that they're going to be requesting all of the information from the ride be handed over to them. Tonight, Orlando's Icon Park freefall ride remains closed as investigators continue to look for answers surrounding the death of Tyree Sampson.
The focus of this investigation is going to be on the training of the staff on the ground who may not have secured Tyree before the ride took off.
Investigators have not determined what caused Sampson to fall out of the ride, but in viral video that shows Sampson's fall and is too graphic to show, workers can be heard in the moments after discussing safety measures.
What are you doing? I don't know. Did you check it? Yeah, the safety man's under. The light was on. You guys are sure you checked it? We did, yeah. The light was on.
Attorney Bob Hilliard, who is representing the family, spoke with us about the legal actions being taken to find who is responsible for the death of the 14-year-old boy.
The investigation is also going to include the design of the ride itself. There absolutely should be no way a ride can leave the ground if there is any indication that any one of the passengers is not secured.
The company that operates this ride says workers are responsible for checking lights on the restraint system to ensure they are properly secured.
The ride will not ascend unless those harnesses are locked in. And, again, so there were no indications that there was anything different.
My first reaction, it felt like a dream.
We spoke with Montre Williams, one of the witnesses from Thursday night. He says he was standing in front of the ride the night of Tyree's death and noticed the red flags.
Nobody walked around to see if everybody was securely, locked in.
And there has to be redundancies. It has to be more than a 16-year-old minimum wage kid walking around checking whether or not your harness works.
And so now in a statement, Icon Park said the Icon Park family is grieving because of this tragedy and their thoughts are with Tyree's family and friends. They also said they are cooperating with law enforcement and regulators. The investigation is being handled by Orange County Sheriff's Office and by the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. Live in Orlando, I'm Carolina Cardona getting results. Back to you, Eric, in the studio.
Carolina, thank you. Safety inspections for amusement park rides in our state fall on the shoulders of the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. But some theme parks, larger ones in particular, are allowed to do their own inspections. This hinges on how many employees work at the park. And Florida parks that employ more than 1,000 people, like Disney World, Universal Studios, and SeaWorld, are allowed to inspect their own rides and report their findings to the state. For smaller theme parks like Icon Park, FDAX inspects rides when they are built, whenever a temporary ride moves to a new location, and permanent rides like Orlando Freefall are inspected twice a year. According to a press release from Icon Park, Orlando Freefall was dreamed up by an overseas company called Funtime. Yesterday, we asked the ride maker if they have anything to say about this tragedy, and we asked again today. Still no response. So we will keep asking, and when we do get a response, we'll post that. And all new information we get as we get it on clickorlando.com. As always, you'll find the story right on our homepage.